After a shocking mid-season finale, Westworld Season 4 seemed to have hit a reset in the previous week's episode. Having done irreparable damage to its viewership after Season 3, the sci-fi dystopian drama has managed to stay afloat this season with its striking visuals and music. The role reversal of humans and hosts has also added to the intrigue. In Fidelity, the sixth episode of Season 4 of HBO's science fiction series Westworld, Charlotte Hale investigates the causes of the hosts' suicides. She turns to Caleb Nichols for the answers after learning that his daughter Frankie is still alive. He attempts to escape Hale's jail because he knows his daughter is there, which opens the door to dire repercussions. In the meantime, Bernard Lowe keeps working to save the world. Hale's decision regarding Caleb's existence is left unclear as the episode comes to an end. Flashback scenes showing Jay's introduction to Wade, Frankie, and other outliers are shown at the beginning of Fidelity. Hale approaches Caleb in the present to learn why the hosts committed suicide after meeting the outliers. She thinks her hosts are somehow contaminated. Before killing him, Hale allows Caleb 2 days to reveal further details about the outliers. In the cabins nearby, he notices multiple duplicates of himself. Since Hale informs him that Frankie is still alive, Caleb decides to flee from Hale's care and manages to get out of his cabin. Caleb encounters several other versions of himself on the way out, both alive and dead, and realizes that they too have attempted to flee. Bernard and Frankie arrive at the destroyed Westworld Park after discovering Maeve Millay so that Bernard can recreate her. He locates a new system for her and transfers Maeve's information over to it. When Jay and his friends arrive, they inform Frankie that they have a mole among them. Frankie believes Bernard is the mole, but he informs her that one of her friends, possibly even her girlfriend, is actually the mole. Frankie continues to reconstruct Maeve in an effort to make her aware of what had happened to her father Caleb. In the meantime, Jay tells her that she is like a sister to him, and because Jay never sees himself as her brother, Frankie realizes that Jay is a host and the mole. Frankie receives a message from Caleb at the same moment informing her that her father is still alive. When Frankie is in danger from the host Jay, who has already killed the human Jay, Maeve appears and kills him. Maeve and Frankie decide to save Caleb from Hale as well. Even though Caleb succeeds in sending a message to Frankie, Hale finds him before he can escape. She presses for the cause of her host's mass suicide as she presses on with her interrogation. Hale makes multiple versions of Caleb, so she may learn more about people and anomalies from him. If he doesn't explain why hosts kill themselves immediately after interaction with humans, she even threatens to kill him and his daughter Frankie. Hale understands that she has already learned everything he has to offer her when Caleb makes it plain that her hosts aren't infected as she thinks. She does this by killing all Calebs. Hale has created those copies of Caleb in his truest nature. She has wanted those host versions to answer her questions as the human version would do. Caleb's response to her question regarding the host's mass suicide is the last thing Hale wants to know from his true mind. However, Caleb hasn't become useless for Hale. She still has a war to fight against the outliers, and she needs to win the same before more hosts perish due to their potential interaction with the humans she fails to conquer using her parasites. The new version of Caleb can be a weapon Hale creates to fight and win the battle against the outliers. Hale is aware that Frankie and the other outliers will attempt to free him from her captivity now that Caleb has let her know he is alive. She might leave the outliers alone to save the new Caleb, who might be a terrible soldier for Hale, much like the version of William known as the Man in Black. The new Caleb might infiltrate Frankie's gang to learn how they are facilitating the suicides of the hosts. Hale might even be planning to use the new Caleb to murder Frankie and the other outliers. Before they seriously begin to consider the nature of their world, Hale orders her hosts to kill a number of humans who are outside the control of her parasites. The hosts who connect with these so-called outlier humans end up murdering themselves as a result of their interactions. Hale and William believe that hosts are getting infected with something beyond their knowledge, which leads them to kill themselves. Hale is informed by Caleb that they are not infected as she initially thought. Similar to the outliers, the hosts commit suicide when they begin to doubt the nature of their reality. The hosts consider themselves to be a part of an order or system. They appear to consider Hale as the keeper of the same system and think that the outliers are creatures deserving of death since they pose a threat to the established order. However, when they observe the outliers acting in a similar manner, the hosts begin to question what precisely is their reality. They come to understand from the inquiry that Hale created the order or system and that they are but her puppets. They experience profound existential crises that ultimately lead to their suicides when they realize they are nothing more than Hale's puppets who obey his orders. The hosts who commit suicide are only attempting to escape Hale's control. Rather than serve as her pawns, they decide to vanish. Hale intends for the hosts to be freed, but ironically, she ends up manipulating them in the same way that humans are controlled in Westworld, which causes them to commit suicide.